well, because I don't like open things, we can just close the shape as well down here. Just start. Now we're going to treat this like we do this, like the same way, same technique as we did for the sleeve. To cut into an existing shape, which is our outer collar edge. We're going to cut into that to make this inner curve shape. Okay, so I'm going to complete this shape all around, close it out. I'm going to make a copy front of the collar. Select that shape layer, and then we can divide. Ungroup. So now we have this inner shape here. So again, same technique as that sleeve, just apply to now the neck. Okay. Make sure it's a closed off shape though. And we're not going to worry about the seam right now. Right now, so we have our inner collar shape. We need to make this a separate shape as well because we want this shape to be gray. So it shows it's not like an outside piece, it's an inside. So we need to cut into this one more time, same thing that we did before. I'm going to actually use my top edge, control front, to kind of place that neck seam. Okay, and then I can draw the shape around. Shape I'm trying to cut out. So I want to cut into this new shape that I just, this inner top layer I just made. So Control C, Control F, and take my little shape that I'm cutting, divide, ungroup, delete, and now I have this inner shape. Color. So we use that Pathfinder divide 2 times to create this like bigger shape. And then now we have this like smaller shape here. And we have this shape as well. So it's just layering shapes on top of each other to build out the collar. And the reason why we take all this time to build out the shapes is because you want to be able to we're thinking about coloring for the future. So we can show that like if this is a different color than if the inside color, this was the same color. But if this inside area is a different color than the outside, be able to like color code it. So make sure you like take the time to separate the shapes. Then you can just add that collar at the top. I'm just going to, again, I'm gonna make this just as a line. I don't need to make a shape. Okay, so I'm using lines that I already have existing, so I don't have to draw lines all the time. This curve at the top neck is going to be a very similar curve to what's going to happen at the seam. So I'm going to control F it, bring it down to about where the collar stand is going to be. Okay, so two ways we can just, we're making this a stitch line, so we just need to get this line a bit shorter. One way we can do that is what we've already done before by adding an anchor point to one edge. So the plus key to add an anchor point on the line, minus key to delete. Or you can come in under the eraser tool, there's a scissors tool. Make sure it's selected. And then you just click where you want it to cut, and it cuts it off. And then you can cut off this little excess piece. But make sure the piece that you're trying to cut is the one that's selected. Now, if your collar stand is a different color than your collar, you would make this into a shape, but we don't need to do that because it's going to be the same color to me. But I'm going to make this like 0.7 stroke, just so it's a little bit smaller. We're going to need to add the top stitching and everything. So then we have our collar. Okay, so that's just a series of Pathfinder divide, cutting into our shapes to get those layers. So we have our outside layer. Let me just show these layers. We have our outer layer. We have our collars. We have this collar tip or collar in the back. We have our inner, and then we have the shaping here. So they all just line up on top of each other. Build our collar. As you're working, make sure you're always like zooming out a bit just to make sure that the proportions are looking right. Nothing's looking too crazy.
Chứ đó đã tiên vi sinh cảm thôi con. Nó là tiên vi sinh cảm mà món nào.
Okay. So anytime we're showing that something's on the inside, which you must show, make sure you color it a gray, 20 or 30% gray. So in the swatches, it'll either be, you'll see the CMY is 0, but the K, which represents the color black, is going to be either 20, 20, or 30. I like 20. Some people like it darker. Okay? So then that shows that this is not part of the outside, outside like the shell. This is on the inside.
bạn bật thân mặt. Saya mana yuk. Select nó cứ select đó là nó ngay sự thằng lớn nó khai tầm mắc group đi hai thằng ngoài nó đi ngoài bây giờ thằng co này dạ nó hai tầm mắc copy viết tên viết
So for the button spacing,
bật per
you could
copy viết
place all the buttons and align it, but there's a quicker way to do it, so I'm going to show you. So instead of just like taking the buttons, pushing them there, hold the Alt key to like space them out, and like it's quite slow, and you have to go back and align them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
nó mới được bị nó đọc ông ở thấp tay
Instead of doing that and like pushing all the buttons where it's supposed to go and then having to replace them and everything, there's a much faster way to do it. So I want you to take one button and put it at the top where you want it to be, and the last button where you want it to end on the body. Now remember, ending it kind of thinking about the proportion. So this is kind of near the cuff. It's a bit wider. The spacing from the bottom edge to the first button is a little bit bigger than the space of the cuff. So keep in
qua
mind.
đi vậy mà thời trên bên này mix bấm đi vậy mà đong tiền là đi vậy đó sẽ làm ai mà mình group bạn group với sao nó ngay group với sao
Okay. If you want to just, I don't know if you guys know this trick. I forgot if I told you. But if you select it and you hold the Alt key, it makes a copy of it. So, so with the black arrow tool, if I select it, hold Alt, you'll see when it hovers, I don't know if you can see on the screen, when you hover over something to select, it's like 2 arrows, one black, one white. So you can take it and it's going to make a copy. So hold on to the Alt key. Okay, so we're just going to make a copy and bring it down to where we want it to be placed. Maybe about there. That first button placement is somewhere kind of in the center of the collar. So we'll do that for now. Okay. When you have your 2 buttons, okay. Can I get eyes up top so you can see this tool that I'm going to use so you guys can apply it? Eyes up top, eyes up top. Eyes up top, you guys. Eyes up front so we can see what I'm doing. I don't want you to miss it. Okay, I'm doing a new thing. So you select the buttons blend tool. It looks like a square circle and an open circle. Double click on it. Okay, so we have blend options. We have smooth color, specified steps, and specified distance. You want to do specified steps, and this shows how many of this image that we have, how many do you want on the inside? So we have a total of on the shirt, not on the collar. On the shirt there's 8 buttons. We have 2 placed. So we need 6 buttons in the middle. So 6. Okay. And then click, click, and then it evenly distributes the 6 buttons. So you have now 8. The cool thing about this, which I think is nice, is they're all kind of on this line. So let's say that we don't really like that spacing. We want to adjust it a little bit. Then I can, with the white arrow tool, adjust. Maybe I want it to go up a little bit more, or oops, select one end. You can spread it out or spread it tighter to make the spacing change. But it keeps all the buttons you want. Okay, so I'm gonna do that one more time, just with some random circles. Okay. And these 2 circles, I make sure that they're aligned. Okay. So I'm gonna go in with my blend tool, double click, and let's say for this one I want 4 circles in between these 2. So I put in 4. Okay. And then I select the 2, and then the 4 buttons, 1, 2, 3, 4, goes in between. And it's automatically grouped as like one thing. If I want to make the buttons or the circle spacing different, I can just extend this or shorten it. Okay. If there's ever a time you want this to not be like one thing, you go to Object, Expand. Keep the object in fill, and then that creates the individual little circles. But for now, I want to keep it all in like one thing, so I can just move it all together. Okay, so we're going to do that for a button. Ooh, I forgot to do the button on the collar stand, so we need to add one of those. So now I actually do need to expand this because So everywhere that there is top stitching, you're going to add the top stitching. On the back, you're going to add a yoke. So let me just show you real quick how I would do the back. Oh, we have to add the pocket too, but those are just drawing shapes on. You guys know how to draw shapes. So I want to show you how I would quickly do the back. Control C, Control F, and then I would move the front to the side. We're working on the back now. So with the back, we just delete all the extra things that we don't need.
Chút ngay cái kia đã lên hết cái copy nè.
And I'm just gonna put where the collar edge is gonna go. So let me just move it this so you can see. Cool.
Ai thật đã giỏi cái nó specific stance nó hay tập một mũi chúng mình nghe không có thêm hơi dữ nào ok thật là bài trong hai anh lấy cho xây mình yes nó có bị sợ lại không cho nên là bản thân ở bên đây mới hay cho nên bản thân nó nói trên mà cùng mũi chẳng
And make sure that it's a soft smile and not too straight or curved up, okay? So make sure it's just a soft smile. And we're going to do the same thing. We're cutting into this collar shape if we like it. So go ahead and draw it all around. Turning into our outlines, we're going to make a copy of the back outline. Select the shape, Pathfinder divide. Ungroup. So we have a collar.
oops
On the back, we also need to draw, I think it has a yoke. So we need a yoke and our little pleat. So we just draw a line, and then the pleat lines, we're going to use our profile. Just like the same way we did with the darts. You don't want to use a normal stroke, it doesn't give the effect of like a tapered like tip. So you're going to draw in your yoke. Think about the placement of this yoke, where it is on her, and make sure you put it on your body.
vô mưa từ trong vô nóng kia.
One more thing before so the homework will also be adding the last little details, the stitch lines, the pocket. But I wanted to be a little extra. And you see how the center back is a little bit longer than the front? If you want to be extra, you could do that. So you could, on the back, let's say we're going to make this go like 1, 2. On the front piece, you can take that, Control C, Control F, and 1, 2.
Mấy bạn vô là Control C đã thế nào? Control V con tiên con tiên rồi pass tới mình
More
có
than
thể
2, let's
Control C,
do
Control F đi tới
4.
quạt lại. Biết chứ mà dân phở áp bên nó lần này. Biết nè. Biết. Áp phở phở áp con luôn rồi. Có sẵn rồi mình dễ lên tại. Biết phở cái tiền ở bên ngon nếu chơi gì. Mấy biết chừng. Biết bây giờ không tới cho. Như này thì ngon lẽ.
Then you can just create another. I want to find the original silhouette one, which is here. Bring it back to the sketch. Bring this down here. So I want to see my original silhouette with this new back edge that I'm drawing, and I'm going to join them. I'm gonna make this swatch 20. Give me this with it. Forgot to make a copy. Make a copy in the front, and then join the back, so then you have a back shape. Or actually, you could just do close that shape, color it, arrange, move to the back. But I really like having like, not really back. I like having one full silhouette. Arrange that to the back. Make this white. So now we have the silhouettes done for our shirt and our back shirt. And we just need to add all the top stitching and the pockets. So for the homework, I just need you guys to finish this class so we can move on to the next thing, okay? Set aside like a few hours on a Sunday, just sketch, okay? So the tech flats, so the, oh, I lost my, so we need to add a little pocket on the chest. Make sure to add the top stitching. We need to add, where do we else do we have top stitching? So just make sure you look at your references. You need to have the top stitching on the cuff, you need buttons, you need to stitch, you need to draw this line. Okay, so it's not just drawing. Same with this pleat, we have 2 pleats on the cuff. Make sure you use that tapered edge to draw this nice little pleat. Okay, top stitching on the yoke. Okay, and on the collar, so make sure we just add our top stitching and add our pocket detail along the plaque as well, so make sure you check the references. Okay? So for next week, what I want you to do is, yes, you're going to submit it into the Google Classroom, but also what I want to do actually the sun's not yet. So let's just submit it into the Google Classroom by 9:20. Okay? If you have any questions throughout the week, if you're working on it, text me and I'll try to answer it through the phone. Any questions in this last like 10 minutes of class? This class is really draining. I need to figure out how to make this a little more engaging. It's just you gotta do it. All right.
Wash up.